Welcome back everybody to another episode. My name is Tyler. I am the owner at Tyler Wiebe Fitness, and here at my YouTube channel, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take all of the information that is out there, nutrition, training, cardio, fat loss, gaining muscle. We're gonna take it all, bring it into one place, break it down in easy to understand steps that you can apply to your life, to your fitness journey, so that you can continue to get the physique you have always wanted. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's jump into today's topic. So last week I did do a video on how to find your starting fat loss macros. So just be sure, if you haven't seen that, go down below. It's gonna be in the description, first link. Go ahead, click on it, watch it, as today's video is going to build on that video, because getting your macros, your starting macros, is one step, but that next step is, how do I adjust my calories, my cardio for fat loss? Because at some point you are going to plateau. So that is what we are going to break down today. It's going to be quick and easy. So what we want to do after we have gotten our starting macros is we want to see, what is the body doing? Are we losing weight? Are we gaining weight? Are we maintaining our weight? That will take a couple of weeks to figure out, to really see where the trends are going. Ideally, as long as everything is perfect, you're hitting your macros, doing all of the other stuff, roughly 2 to 3 weeks is all that you need to really know where the trends are going. Now, of course, if you start off and you are losing fat right off the bat, well then you're perfect. You don't need to make any adjustments right away. That's fantastic. If you are at a maintenance, so your scale is fluctuating, 1 to 3 pounds, but it's staying, fairly within that realm, this is where you are going to want to make some adjustments right off the bat, once we've, really understood that we are at maintenance. And so wherever those calories are at, once you do get to that point, you are going to be looking at right around a 20 to 30% reduction in your overall calories. Now, it's not going to just come strictly from calories, but that is the percentage that we are looking at. It can help do a little bit of math to help you get your numbers. The most manipulative macronutrient that we are going to manipulate is going to be your carbohydrates. That's typically, or it should, make up the majority of your calories. And so this is the one that is going to easily be able to be reduced, add in, and all of that. So what you would do is you would go in, you would calculate, okay, what's 20 to 30%, of my calories. You're going to do the majority of that in your carbs, like I said, and then you are going to look at potentially reducing your fats a little bit as well. But for my recommendations, I would say no more than 5 to 10 grams at a time, because having dietary fats is important, and we actually do want to keep them above a minimum threshold of 35 to 40 grams a day. Once we do start getting under that gram mark, you do start to maybe notice some health issues. Digestion might be a little off, hair might get a little bit brittle. So having those dietary fats is very important for your own hormonal and overall health. So certainly something that we do want to keep an eye on. And again, while our carbs are our main one that we are going to manipulate. So you are going to make that reduction, 20 to 30%, majority coming out of your carbs, a little bit of fats. Protein going to stay the same for the majority of their time. Now, there are certainly contexts where you can and would reduce protein. I think in this context, that isn't something that we are going to run into. It is typically for when we are getting very, very lean. Protein has been a little bit higher throughout the diet, and we're just looking to reduce some calories because carbs have gotten maybe a little bit too low, fats are low enough, and then we just do need to find some other areas that we can take away from. So hopefully not in the context for most people watching this is going to be your carbs and fat. So once you've made that reduction, now you are going to just repeat the process that you did when you found your starting numbers. you're going to track your daily weight. I think that's a very good idea so that you can get your average weight on a weekly basis, because the scale is going to fluctuate. Fat loss isn't going to be linear, and so we don't want to rely on just 1 or 2 weigh-ins a week. So when we take a full week, we're able to get a nice average and really see exactly where the trends are going. And as long as you are right around 1% of total body weight per week, that is considered a very standard rate of fat loss. Now, you can be on that one, on the other, each side of the 1%. So even if we're at 0.8, 0.7, you're still probably losing some body fat. We can be patient with that. At the maximum level, we don't necessarily want to get above 1.5% of total body weight per week, as you do then start to risk losing some lean body mass at that point. So for our purposes, anywhere between 0.8% up to about 1.5% is going to be perfect. As long as you are losing that, you can continue to just roll along with your current amount of activity and your current amount of calories. Now, once you have had about 2 weeks and nothing has changed, and again, everything else, and we can talk about this in a future video, but everything else, sleep, recovery, you're tracking your macros, you're active, as long as that is all set and we've stagnated, now that might be time to make some further changes. So again, as long as you do have the calories, you're gonna go back in. We are gonna look at around another 20 to 30%. We also might look at some additional activity in terms of cardio as well. And that you can add in, 20 to 30%. The walking itself isn't going to be a huge reason for your fat loss, and we do want to be careful that we are not doing so much standard cardio, so walking on a treadmill, for example, that it starts to eat into our activity outside of the gym, because then we are just trading one off for the other and we're not actually increasing our activity level. So that is something that you do want to pay attention to, your energy levels. How much do you stop walking outside of the gym compared to, how much are you doing in the gym? But you're gonna make those adjustments, like I said, 20 to 30% across the board, and then boom, rinse and repeat. So fairly easy in terms of what we need to do. But the hardest part is being patient. And that is something that you will most likely need to work on and to really kind of keep at the forefront of your mind. Just because you don't lose weight 1 week doesn't mean that you have plateaued. There are other things that you want to consider. There are other things you would want to look at before just subtracting food and adding in more cardio, because your fat loss phase is going to have a finite amount of time on it. And so the quicker we reduce our food, the quicker we are getting towards the end of the diet, which could equal less than optimal results if we're not maybe being a little bit more patient. So that's why I also recommend waiting at least 2 weeks to make sure that you are actually plateaued before you do make any changes. I know it can be a little frustrating to be patient. We all want that fat loss right away, but trust me, for your longevity, the longevity of the diet, and just your overall progress, being a little bit more patient is going to pay off. All right, guys, that's gonna be everything. 90 seconds to go. We're getting pretty good at this. Thank you for watching. Just make sure to hit that subscribe button so you're not missing out on any future content. And go ahead, check out my Instagram. Plenty of other information there. That's it for today, guys. Thank you. Tyler Wiebe Fitness. 10 minutes or less information that you can take, apply to your life, and get the physique you've always wanted.